Hello everybody, Silveroxis here, and this is the TP Level 2 Enhancement Guide for the everything you need to know about this major upcoming mechanic change coming July 16th for the global Octopath Traveler COTC server. As you can see, I kind of cut off a bit of the roadmap there to show that they have it as a little down there. There's like Lantern update. It's like this little rinky-dink thing. No, this thing is massive. This is major. This fundamentally changes the game in a lot of ways. So as you can see, there's a little cost overview image provided to me by Nova that helps from the JP thing that kind of just shows that like how all the stats go up to rank 10 now, and there's level 2 enhancement for things, and there's some bonuses. So let's go over everything, all right? So what is TP Level 2, the enhancement overview in general? TP Level 2, or Torch Points Level 2, is the enhancement to the already existing TP system that was added with Side Celestia. The game already explains the basics of TP pretty well, so I am going to assume you have read that and get the basics of getting TP, using to unlock the TP passive and skills for units, upgrading base stats with it, and total cost increase. All of that is available right now in-game and easy to understand. You can go review the tutorial, it's still there. Please just read. I don't need to go over all of that. Anyway, TP Level 2, or TP2 for short, adds another level to this using 3 new materials that can only be gotten from the new Easy Hunts and a special exchange that uses fragments given from pulling on all future banners once this update drops. Random gifts and special exchanges and special feats may also have these materials as well, but other than those, you are very limited unless you pull a ton on these resources. From just the hunts alone, it takes approximately 1 month to get enough materials to fully upgrade 1 unit to max with the new TP2 stuff, so you need to be smart when using them. TP2 extends the base stats cap by 2 new ranks for plus 10 more to stat, adds an upgrade effect to each unit's TP active and passive skills, and adds a bonus effect to the unit for upgrading both their active and passive skills. And finally, it adds bonus stats a unit can unlock from upgrading their total cost limit high enough. So first, the TP2 Skill Upgrades. TP cost doesn't change for the level 2 upgrade, it still costs 1000 TP each. However, the level 2 upgrade requires 300 flame crystals, which are a new type of gold crystal different to the light crystals. The character-specific light crystal ones do not work for this upgrade, and these can only be gotten from the new hunts and pull fragment exchange. So as you can see, I have like a little image on both. As you can see, like the level 1 skill and passive is 1000 TP each, and 40 light skill crystals, which can also be, you can use the generic ones gotten from OMA as well. The passive skill and passive upgrade to level 2 requires 300 flame skill crystals each, and that's the new resource that you'll have to get, as you can see in the image below. There is no other option or anything like that. It is just straight up, that's what you have to do. So for the TP2 Skill Upgrades bonus, when a unit unlocks both their active TP2 active and passive upgrades, they will unlock the first TP2 bonus effect shown by the first flame symbol. Currently, there are 3 total types of bonus effects you get from having both the TP2 active and passive. The first effect, and this is the one that's shown in the image that Signet gets, is that you grant the party 15,000 damage cap up when using a certain type of attack or element. It's listed by the unit, so like for Signet, I know one of them is light. I think it's like light and fan. I can't read Japanese, so the point is every unit you'll see it. It's clear as day. It'll tell you exactly what types of attacks and stuff that they support. The character needs to be in the active party for this bonus, and this is the weakest TP2 bonus effect and is lower priority for your resources, because damage cap is great and all, but if it's only 15,000 and they have to be in the party, so if it's not a unit you use all that often, I mean, it's nice. Like I said, if it's a support unit that's always there and that extra damage cap is going to help, then great, get it. But otherwise, it's not that high priority compared to other units that might need TP2 more. The second effect is grant self bonus damage cap. It's usually 50,000. That might change in the future if they want to power creep it, or it might vary. But this is just straight up more damage cap, and this is always good. So high priority. 3. Grant self damage cap multiplier effect. This is the best bonus that fundamentally changed the game and made high power, less hit count nukes be able to beat some multi-hits, ending their total monopoly over damage. It is very simple. When you use a skill in-game, the game shows you its total potency value, like the number that you can see like in the skill or on the ultimate or on the EX skill. And if it's on a skill, if you like hold the boost to use BP, it changes the potency value and stuff. That number you see is the number the game uses to determine the damage cap multiplier that skill will receive. Nothing else will affect the damage cap multiplier. It is purely just that number you can see currently as of this recording. If that gets changed in the future, I will let people know, but it's very cut and dry, very simple. If the number you see, that's it. If there's other multipliers to damage that affect it, but the number itself that you see does not change, then it doesn't affect the damage cap multiplier. Period. So the math is very simple. So the skill potency number that you see times 0.0025 plus 0.75 equals the multiplier value. And if you don't really feel like doing math, here's a quick reference for so you can approximate it. If a skill has 500 potency, it adds up to a 2 times damage cap multiplier. If it has 900 potency, it's a 3 times multiplier, and so on and so forth. The number, there is no cap to it, so hypothetically, if they released a skill that was like, 5,000 potency, that damage cap multiplier is going to be absurd. That's just how it works. Very, very simple. You can estimate it, or if you want to do the math to see exactly how much damage cap multiplier a unit's going to get, that's great. And yeah, I didn't write it down, but the damage cap multiplier, yeah, it multiplies all sources of damage cap. Their base damage cap of 130,000, all their accessories, any weapons, all buffs, everything that unit has. If their damage cap if you're hitting a 1,000,000 damage cap and they have a 2 times multiplier and now their damage cap's 2 million. That's simple. This is the highest priority. This will always be on any unit that is a good unit. The damage cap multiplier will always be a mandatory bonus that you'd want because it matters that much. Alright, so for the TP2 stat upgrades. TP2 adds rank 9 and 10 to the stats, allowing plus 10 more to a stat. And as a reminder, these are base stats, which matter more in the damage formula than just equipment stats. The TP price, as you can see, is very expensive as well, requiring 450 of the new Flame Stat Crystal resource. Because these are only plus 10 in stats compared to an upgraded skill and / passive and what cost limit bonuses are, this would be the lowest priority to max in my opinion, but every single stat matters. So as you can see in the image, I have a little chart. As you can see for ranks 1 to 10, how much a TP it costs, how much the crystal cost is, up to rank 8, which you can currently get in game now, costs 600 light stat crystals. Those can be both generic crystals or the ones you can farm from OMA for specific characters. Ranks 9 and 10 do cost literally over 6,000 extra TP for just plus 10 to the base stat and 450 of the flame stat crystal. So, like I said, based on the TP cost and everything like that, I would get the skill and passive first, and I would get the total cost first, but then come back to this, because, like I said, plus 10 in stat matters. I mean, it's base stat, you want more P attack, you want more magic attack, everything matters for min-maxing your units. 100%. So, on to the TP cost limit upgrades and bonus. So the total cost limit before did not matter because most units only needed their main stat of either P attack or magic attack, which to rank 8 was 20 cost of the 40 max. That remains true with the new limit costing only 30 cost. However, TP2 has added new special bonuses for when specific cost limit totals are reached, meaning this system now has an extremely important value and cannot be ignored. If you scroll back to the other image of the TP2 upgrades bonus of that little first flame icon, the other 3 flame icons are for the cost limit bonuses. There are now bonuses for reaching total cost of 50, 65, and 80, which is now the new maxed cost limit. So if you have 50 total cost, gain plus 20 to all base stats excluding speed. If you have A1 on a unit, this doubles to 40 stats. 65 total cost means you will gain plus 30 more to all base stats, excluding speed. Having A1 doubles this to 60. So basically, you can get an extra plus 50 to all base stats except for speed from upgrading total cost, and if you do have A1 on a unit, you're going to get plus 100 stats. And these are all base stats. If you get to the new max of 80 total cost, you will gain plus 500 HP. And if you have A3 on the unit, this grants another 1,000 HP for 1,500 total HP bonus. So, as you can see, despite its quite ludicrous TP cost amounts, this is now very, very important. Also, A1 and A3 get even stronger should you have extra dupes, but please do not start chasing dupes just for this. Even though A1 and A3 just got stronger, the units still work just fine at A0. You do not need to chase dupes. If you are free to play / low spend, please do not waste your stash chasing a dupe just because, oh my goodness, they could be a little bit stronger. Even if even though it helps get to damage cap easier and stuff, this is not mandatory. All right. If you really want A1 for a key DPS, if it's like an MT or an SMT or something like that, you could shard for it in the future, perhaps. That's fine. But do not chase dupes on banner. Do not. I am repeating myself. Do not, because someone's going to try to tell you to do it. Do not. Anyway, as you can see in the chart that I've provided up there as well, that you can see the total cost increases like that. Currently in game, as I said, you can get up to cost level 60 right now, which means when TP2 is released, if you already have cost 60 on a unit, they instantly have the 50 total cost bonus unlocked. Remember, units do have to be given TP2 as like the drip feed system, just like 6-star and Ultimate 20s, so they're not going to automatically get it till NetEase gives it to them. But once they are given it, boom, instant. If you get them, you can get their cost to 60 in advance early. You'll also notice that you can get the cost up to with the limit light crystals or the large light crystals. So I want to cover that next. TP2 cost limit resources and farming. So I'm reusing these images so that you may notice that unlike the other new stuff, the new TP2 resource, the large light crystals, which are already visible in game, you can see right now even though you don't have any, can be used for all cost limit tiers. And this is true, but you will notice that if you only use the new resource to upgrade cost, it will cost you double the amount, 1,200 of them instead of 600. You can still farm the limit light crystals from their respective OMAs for the first 8 cost upgrades. Yes, I'm aware that farming them can be very slow and tedious and it's a dumb system, but they are infinitely available unlike the new resource, which has gotten far more slowly. So that decision on whether to farm units to cost 60 using OMA limit crystals falls to what you want to do. Each chapter of Side Celestia, and thus each OMA 1 to 8, can give its tier of limit crystal -1. That means OMA 8 and Crack Ridge can give tier 8 and tier 7 crystals, and so on. Which means OMA 7 and Flame Church can give tier 7 and tier 6. OMA chapter 6 and Cropdale can give tier 6 and tier 5, and so on and down. Meaning you never want to farm OMA 1. But if you only want to partially farm, then I would recommend farming OMA 8 for tier 7 and 8 crystals, because as you can see, they will save you the most on the new resource as it scales higher in cost. Reminder that limit crystals come from the treasure spots in OMA, not the fights, so run around and get the 4 treasure spots, and bail. If you have the Pursuer Pass, just turn off encounters and it makes it a lot easier. If you don't have the Pursuer Pass, then use the Repelling Barrets so you can get as much distance as you can without a fight, and either set up to be able to wipe the ads or run away and just make it work if you want to farm. I understand it's difficult, but like I said, it's either you use double the resource and be lazy and therefore you have to use more limited resources that you get slowly over time, or you can put in the effort and farm and get key units in advance to 60 cost. It's kind of like I said, you just have to weigh the options and see what works best for your account. I just wanted to make it very abundantly clear what your choices are. Alright, so speaking about all these resources, how do you get the new TP2 resources? So TP2 introduces 3 new materials needed to max out your units. In order of importance, number 1, the Flame Crystal skill. 600 are needed per unit to get their TP active/passives upgraded, plus the TP2 bonus. Number 2 would be the Large Light Crystal. 600 to 1200 are needed to reach max cost limit of 80 for all the stat bonuses. And then number 3 would be the Flame Crystal, the Flame Crystals for stats, which are 450 are needed to reach the new max stat limit of rank 10 for plus 50 total. You can get these new materials from running the new hunts. There is a new hunt for both normal and expert hunts. These are easy hunts only, so don't worry about any kind of feats or anything that you might be missing. So you should be using all 14 hunts a week on these new TP2 hunts only. Be sure to meet their influence requirements to get every chest. As you can see in the normal hunt here, the influence requirement is for wealth plus opulence of 500, which you can get with literally just 2 units. So make sure you have that met no matter what when running a hunt. If you're watching this video before July 16th, please make sure to have all 7 hunt tickets in both normal and elite hunts ready for update day. As a reminder, the update does drop Thursday morning for like global if you live in America. I have to go at that time because that's where I live, and that is before the daily reset, so make sure you have 7 hunts after maintenance, and if you get up in the morning before work or whatever you do in the morning, and you can get on, you can dump your hunts before the first reset on Thursday, and basically to get that extra hunt in, so you get extra TP2 materials. It's going to matter. Be very optimal with it. I forgot to write it on the slide, but also keep in mind that these are TP2 hunts. These do use the normal tickets, normal and elite tickets. So whenever like NetEase does a promo and drops the Kate hunts for like a bunch of extra XP, those are bait now. XP is great, but you can farm XP infinitely everywhere else. You cannot farm the TP2 mats everywhere else. Do not fall for the bait if they give us Kate hunts again. Just focus on the TP2 hunts. Only change if they give Kate hunts that also give the TP2 mats, which is not impossible if they do that, but we will cover that if it comes to that. Finally, you can also get these new materials from a special new exchange that gets added. This new exchange uses a new fragment you can get from pulling on any new banner from this update on. It is a separate new fragment from pity fragments, so whenever you pull, you're going to get your pity fragments, and then you're going to get this new type of resource fragment that you can use in this new exchange for TP2 mats. So yes, the more you pull, the more TP2 resources you can get quicker, so plan accordingly. So yes, this does favor people that are able to spend, unfortunately. So yes, if you are spending and you have more rubies than other people and you're able to pull more, you're going to get TP2 resources more. I mean, conversely, you're going to have more units, so you need more resources, so I guess it kind of balances itself out, but that's just how it is. If you do plan really big dumps, like for example, we are very fortunate that the TP2 is coming with Sacred Heart or with the Rulon and War Richard banners, depending on which one they do first, because we don't know yet as of this recording. A lot of people are dumping for the Sacred Hearts A4, so the good news is those people are going to get a whole bunch of TP2 mats because all those pull frags will be in the game. So that's a thumbs up. Alright, so how much TP do you need? This is dumb, by the way. Assuming a newly pulled unit with no TP upgrades at all, to fully max them, assuming they only need their one main stat like most do, you need 60,100 TP needed to max a unit. I did not stutter, it is 60,000. 71,800 TP if you need two stats, because you know some units have like the stat conversion thing, so therefore you actually would want to max both their P attack and magic attack out, because they're going to get that percentage of stat boost thing. Or you're using someone like, say, Ochet EX or Edgar that has the stat conversion using PDF or MDef, so you actually want to max those out too if you can, so you can give more units better stats. So yeah, some units might even need even more TP. Crazy. Currently the TP held cap is 99,999, so you can farm units TP in advance starting right now if you're watching this, if you wish. Keep in mind, this is a gift that NetEase gave us that we didn't realize that we had. We noticed that the cap got extended past 10,000, but you have to know, in JP, they didn't get the cap extended past 10,000 until they got TP2. NetEase gave this to us in advance, so we actually can farm well over the amount we need in advance for current units, so maybe take advantage of that for the next week and a half until this update comes. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to farm TP, normal night battles in Celestia that can get up to 4 adds in the fight each is the fastest way to farm normal TP. You can use anyone with an AoE EX skill in auto battle to farm. It's very AFKable for the other 7 units that get TP. The difficulty of the fight does not matter. You can literally just go to the level 1 fight, like the level 15 fights, like right outside New Delsta, and still get 4 units at night. Or you can go to higher level ones, run around. This is a very good excuse to finish the kill 100 enemy feats of various types of enemies inside Celestia if you haven't done that. So, you know, that's what I've been doing personally. I use Ochet EX's EX skill. That's very, very good. Normal Ochet has one that works. Like, just anybody that has an AoE EX skill you can use on turn 1. If you remove all their skills and make sure they're the first unit to go with speed, auto battle will just use that first. So just give them a strong weapon and a couple good accessories and everything will wipe. And boom, auto farming AFK. Find a long path, type it in, use the Alluring Bear to get extra encounters, use time 5 encounters if you had the Pursuer's Pass, and you can literally just AFK for like 10 plus minutes as the time as your characters run across the entire map. Like, it's super duper easy. So also, but let's say you don't want to farm. TP is not the end of the world. You don't need to kill yourself farming TP or in advance. This is just mainly if you use a lot of units. If you're very specific on the units you use and you want to do some in advance, that's great. But you might have already noticed that they added the TP crystal grains to the game. Each one is worth 1,000 common TP. They're part of the weekly rewards and stuff. The Cascade Shards exchange lets you actually exchange 1 shard per TP crystal gain, which equals 1,000 common TP as well. So you can also exchange for these to help minimize the amount of TP needed to grind, because long-term Cascade Shards, you really don't need to exchange for anything else in Cascade. I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, after you get like the artifacts that you personally use, and maybe some of the esoteric orbs for 5 stars, other than that, you really don't need to use Cascade Shards for anything else except for maybe to min-max a couple soul weapons. So using the rest of your extra shards that you might have a bunch of, since they also do refresh every 2 weeks or so, on TP crystal gains is not a bad idea. You can actually get several thousand of these over time, and this is a good way to also just have a stash, so that way if you want to max a unit on release, you can just dump a bunch of TP crystal grains and then build up a more again too. I have been informed by multiple JP players that, like I said, it is not the end of the world. You can get a lot of TP. It's just you don't have to farm. It's just more or less on how many units you use. I just want to kind of give everybody the options. You can choose what fits best for your account as well. But if you do use a whole bunch of units and you're not just like very limited one meta team only, then yes, you are going to probably need to farm a bit. And finally, do not forget hunts that also give large chunks of TP to the units in them. So if you do not need guide stones for units, throw in units that you need TP for. Very, very important. Guide stones, gold guide stones are honestly like candy. The longer you play the game, the more you'll get. They give you so many in advance. They give you so many in other different things like that. I have literally, I mean, I've been playing since day one, so I have over 30,000 extra despite having almost every unit in the game. So believe me, honestly, using hunts for TP might be more important than guide stones. Gonna be real. Alright, final pointers for TP2. Overall, this is an extremely huge power up to many units and game-changing to some in the future. Due to how limited the materials can be, I do urge people to not blindly just use these mats to upgrade any unit that has TP2 available. All my unit reviews and patch note overview videos will rate units' TP2 skill enhancements from low, mid, high to mandatory and priority to help when choosing where to spend your limited TP2 materials. Any units you regularly use should consider using TP in the limit cost resources to reach those bonuses, as 50 bonus base stats and 500 HP goes a long way. Even better with A1 and A3. Be picky with your resources and plan, and you will be perfectly fine. All units that have TP2 will always be on the unit spreadsheet as well. Keep in mind it is always possible NetEase does change some things as well, so anything important I will report on. Farming TP/limit light crystals in advance to prepare for the update is definitely a good call in my opinion. It's best to be over-prepared rather than under-prepared. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please leave questions below and I will try to help however I can. I have also added a new perk to my channel memberships for dedicated one-on-one COTC help for clears. Consider checking that out if you'd like to help support my goal of being able to make content full-time to support myself, as I cannot work normal jobs due to my chronic disability. Please like and subscribe for more COTC content to come and more. Thanks everyone for watching and supporting the channel, and I will see you all in the next video in the future, and good luck to everybody, and enjoy the TP2 enhancement, and thank God it's finally here. Silverox is out, see you later.